Bam. We got one Christmas. Bam. We got one Christmas tree. We got 2 Christmas trees. I got 2 Christmas trees, even though I don't really do this holiday. You know, the family, they do it. You know, it's for the family. Make sure I'm recording here. So, today I'm going to talk to you about an often undiscussed topic at Lambda School that I'm sure many of you have a lot of questions about. And this topic is very important because I feel that a lot of times people do not take a step forward in their life because they are afraid of hitting hurdles or failing. And I want to just let you know that you should not let that be a deciding factor. There are a lot of deciding factors, although I don't really think any of them are insurmountable to bettering your life. So you should not let that get in your way. But I know if some of you are thinking, well, I want to go to Lambda School, but what happens if I don't do well, I fail, I flunk out, what's going to happen? So that's what I'm here to talk about today with you. Now, they go over this a lot in orientation, but I'm a believer in first-hand observations, first-hand experiences. And so they don't have anyone actually saying, I went through this and this is how it helped me, But, so maybe that is me doing it for the first time. So what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about Lambda's flex policy, as they like to call it. Basically, all it means is that you repeat the unit to, get mastery over the materials. You repeat the whole unit, not just the part that you failed, right? You repeat the whole unit. That's the one thing I take issue with. You got to repeat the whole unit. I only take issue with that one thing. I also take issue with the fact that it's even a process for you to fail or not achieve mastery of the unit. I take issue with that as well. But we'll talk about that later. Right now I just want to go over what the process is, how it works, and what you can expect. So, the flex process basically is when you see this letter, if you do not meet the requirements in this letter, right? So let's say you fail to submit your work, or you fail a sprint, or you fail a sprint and fail to submit your work, you will be flexed. And you will be flexed immediately. How do I know this? Because I was flexed. I was flexed in Unit 3, high fidelity, on my grids. Baseline, 4-point, 8-point baseline grids. I was flexed. And we'll talk about the reasons about, why I was flexed, and I'm going to show you how I was graded. I'm going to show you the work I handed in. I'm going to put it out here to the audience to let me know what I was doing wrong, what I should do correctly, if I was cheated, and that's all in the subsequent videos about this topic. So, yeah, this is great material for me because, like I said, I was talking to a friend the other day and I said, man, if I went through this whole thing and everything was cheesecakey, maybe some people's anomalous views about Lambda School might be correct. But, there are some anomalies, but again, like I said, I believe in evidence. I don't do presumptions. I gotta have evidence. So, getting back to flexing. So, when you don't measure up, you're gonna get flexed, right? So here goes a basic week. So every week is you have 4 days. You do the work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You gotta make a grade on that, and they grade you based on a scale of 1 to 3. 3 being exceeds mastery, 2 being mastery, 1 being not handing anything in. So then you get your sprint challenge, and that's accumulation of all the work, all those 3 hours. That 12 hours, you got to do that 12 hours in 6 hours. That's Friday. That's your sprint challenge. And now, so at any point, if you fail any of those or don't hand in the work, you're going to get flexed. When you fail the sprint challenge, you get a chance to resubmit it the following week. And then if you fail that, then you'll be flexed. And that's my issue with it, is that you can go through, basically, I went through 2 solid units, and I went through 2 solid units, 2 modules, well, 3 and, 2.5 modules, and then I failed the sprint challenge and I got flexed. I got sent back a month. And again, another issue with that is, they don't know what's going on in my life. They don't know if I have enough funds to support myself an extra month. Because, I'm full-time. So when you're full-time, they don't really want you, they don't really advise you to work. You can work, but I chose not to work. So I have a set budget every month that I have to stay within, and a little bit extra safety net. But anyway, yeah, so you go back. You're going to get a letter, another letter, or the same letter, right? You're going to get a letter. It's going to tell you what's going on. So basically, you started a new cohort. For me, I started the last cohort available because they put a freeze on new cohorts. So this is the cohort that I'm in, UX10. And then you got to do the work all over again. So no matter what you passed, you got to do the work all over again. So in my case, I had to go back to the end of Unit 2, just about, where I passed that work. I had to redo that work. Then I got to go do all the upcoming work all over again and pass Unit 3 again. Pass Unit 3 for the first time. And my other issue with that is, the policy of having to redo the work. You can't submit work you've already done. You have to either change it or you have to start from scratch. If you change it, then you can change it and apply a stretch goal to it, or you have to start from scratch. I found it difficult to start from scratch because I already passed it. So I would just, modify it and then do the stretch. But beware of modifying it, because funny thing, I actually modified the work and I failed the second time on the same module that I passed the first time. So yeah, it's that little bit of spacing for failure. That little bit of spacing for failure. But for me, this person, they graded me more fairly than the last TL did in my prior cohort, which was UX9, because they were just like, you're missing these things and I can't, pass you or fail you because, you haven't handed these things in. So hand these things in so that I can, assess it. And I was like, oh, snap. Okay, I didn't even know I was supposed to hand them things in, because when I last did the material, those items were not in the instructions that we use. So now I passed. Right, the flexing, I don't get whose ideal this was, because you're passing the same units again just to get to the unit that you failed, but I wouldn't say you actually failed the unit. You see, what I would say is that the people who are governing you, they failed you. You see what I mean? And in my case, which is going to be another video, we're going to talk about all of that, why I failed this one unit and everything and all that. But yeah, so anyway, that's the process of flexing. Some people say flexing is good. What I didn't like about being flexed was just that nobody from Student Success contacted me beforehand. Before they made it official, nobody contacted me. I just got this automated message, this form letter, and that was it. Before I knew it, I was yanked out of my cohort and placed in a new cohort, and it was so abrupt that other people in the new cohort didn't even know I was coming. So, and there was no issuance of me to be able to make a feedback statement about why I didn't do well with that unit. My experience or anything like that. Nobody asked anything. Nobody asked me anything. Nobody told me anything. Nobody asked me anything. The TLs in that cohort, UX9, the TL that I was assigned to, just basically ignored me. The section lead basically ignored me because nobody said, hey, we're going to have to flex you if you don't do XYZ by this deadline. They just flexed me, And we'll talk about, again, the details about that. I just want to get you guys an idea of what to expect. Now, what I think Lambda School could do better with flexing, I think that someone from Student Success should contact the individual beforehand and make sure that they're utilizing all those resources. Because I did utilize all those resources and it still didn't work for me. So that might be an anomaly right there. I think that I should be able to give feedback about why I didn't measure up. That's another thing I'm kind of odded out by. Because they asked for a lot of feedback at Lambda School, and I wasn't offered or invited to give any feedback at all. And I think if you're paying 30 grand a year, I don't think there should be a failing measure. I think there should be a focus on getting you to learn the material, no matter what it takes. There should be some type of reworking of your schedule or some type of alternative thing to rework the material. But the only good thing that came out of flexing was I feel like I leveled up in my cohort. So I started in 9, now I'm in 10, which is kind of funny because they're reversed, but 10 is a higher number in reality, but you know, they're reversed. But looking at this new cohort that I'm in and seeing the people and how it's run, I would say I leveled up. You know, it's kind of weird, but that is part of life. Sometimes you go and then you go back down and then you go back up higher than you were before. So yeah, I think I would say I leveled up. And you know, the good news is now, whether you know there's a animus at play, I don't think I can be failed the third time or a fourth time. That's ludicrous because, you know, statistically I shouldn't have failed the second time. But, you know, like I said, that's another video. I'll talk about another day. But yeah, I just want to leave you people with that, you know. You're going to have hurdles, you know. You're going to have hurdles. And you're going to have encounters and you're going to be like, oh man, this is why I shouldn't have did this. I didn't want to run into this wall. But I'm going to tell you that that's a part of life, you know. I used to call it trial by fire. Now I refer to it as the phoenix rising from the ashes. It is a part of life. It's only going to make you better. And if you don't believe me, all you got to do is look at the statistics. Everyone who is now successful in tech at some point failed, and that is successful. I'm talking about all kinds of things. I'm talking about all kinds of things, man. All kinds of instances, but not as successful. So that lets me know right there that the statistics of me becoming a success is that this would be the defining cornerstone of my TED Talk speech about how I failed one unit and what I learned from that experience, and how that experience I turned it around into $1 billion business, or made myself a net worth of $1 billion. And that happens every day. That story's told every day. So, like I was telling someone, this is primarily decent because I was starting to seem like a cheesecake factory. You know, everything good. But in reality, I needed some type of adversity. I needed something to give you guys to let you know that this is real. And so, you know, now the other thing they don't tell you about flexing is there is no more flexing after this. This is it. So if I don't make it this time, I may be withdrawn from the school. They claim it's on a case-by-case basis, but I'm not sure about that. So what I want to really say is I want to say to the employers out there watching this, and you want to know what a student experience is like at Lambda School, you have to take us seriously, man, because they hold us to a tight bar. Regardless of what politics are involved, they hold us to a tight bar. I mean, they are stingy. They are stingy with it. Like, there's no room for nothing. There's like I said, there's that much room. Maybe this much, really. If you're outside of that, you're flunked. You know, you're flexed. So, take this seriously, Mr. Employer. This is not a game. We are in the real world environment, and we are being assessed by a high bar. Alright, Lambda family and friends, I will see you guys later. And stay tuned for the next video about the background behind me getting flexed. Enjoy.